It is undoubtedly the hottest day of the year, if you couldn't tell by the face. It doesn't help. I just got a brand new light as well, so it's full on. I don't really know how to control it yet. I haven't had time to work it out. But we are here. It's Tuesday night. It's MGL playoff final night, and that is the playoffs for both Div 1 and Div 2. So spoiled with both of those, if truth be told. So we're going to go the reverse way today. We are going to go Div 2 first, and then it's going to be Div 1 after this. So stick around. We should be just over an hour, I reckon. Get all this action squeezed in. I do have behind my lovely face the lobby, so I am keeping an eye on it. Perfect. Thank you very much. One of the managers being super helpful. I don't always get that, if I'm totally honest. So lovely stuff. Thank you very much. So welcome. If it's your first time here, we are Pro Close Weekly. This is the MGL, the Metagaming League this evening. They played just before VPG on Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So check them out. Check them out. You will not be sorry. And here's their lovely logo, their lovely background. So yeah, tonight, Div 2 first up, and it is the playoff final. So the winner of this will go into Division 1 next season, and it will be played between Atletico Madrid and Newcastle. So in MGL Div 2, if you come first, you go straight up. So that was Manchester United. Truth be told, they romped the league. Atletico Madrid finished respectable second place, and Newcastle in third. So those two take battle tonight to earn the right to go and play in Div 1 next season, which I read something earlier on. Apparently it starts next week, so that is a quick turnaround. I may have misread, but correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please do, because plug that league. And yeah, like I said, these guys play before VPG as well, so pretty handy. If you're an eager beaver, still, I was going to say sweating it in August. Everyone's sweating it today, myself included. But yeah, Atletico Madrid, Newcastle. So to be honest, I think on paper, and again, shoot me if I'm wrong, Madrid going in favourites. Okay, from what I've seen, they're going in favourites. They finished second. They were 3 points behind a very, very strong Manchester United side. Whereas on the flip side of that, Newcastle, I've got down in my notes here, and just to prove I'm not just making anything up here. I've got scraped into third place. I wrote this about 4 hours ago, so obviously I was feeling a bit harsher then than I am now. I got scraped into third place, so that final playoff place to play Atletico Madrid. By a point ahead of Monaco and Lyon. And again, we watched Lyon earlier on in the season, so they're a good side. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised at the quality of a Division 2 of a new league as well. So this game and the game after, there's going to be no slouches. Okay, it's going to be some good quality football. I can see Atletico Madrid in the lobby lining up. They are ready to go, and yeah, let me just tell you, when you've got a team bang on time like that with all the positions filled, it looks nice, but it's also, it shows you a good, well-oiled, well-drilled team, and I think that's what Atletico Madrid are going to bring tonight. So again, going from my notes, they lost only 2 games all season and didn't draw a single one out of 18 games. That's quite special, to be fair. I like that. That's a good stat. Psycho Girl, manager, 8 games, top scorer in 8 games, 8 goals in 18 games, top goal scorer and manager, and lone striker tonight. I can see they're playing the 4-2-3-1 formation, so they'll be expecting something big from her this evening. And danger man for me, having watched what I've watched of the MGL, is Lachlan in Cam, a very, very tidy player, and he's going to be massive just to get in that service, especially when there is that lone striker. So they're going to be relying on him heavily. He is, I would say, I mean, again, Lachlan, if you're watching, please feel free to correct me, but he's someone who will get up and support Psycho Girl, but also he's very much a playmaker as well. So expect the Ram and the Lamb to get involved as much as possible too, courtesy of him, courtesy of Fogger in the middle as well, and Drizzle. Again, those 3 last time, very, very good in that centre midfield position. And now we've got Newcastle. Again, I said they scraped into third place, but it's a very, very good and very competitive league. They actually won 12 out of 18 games. So I think my time as a manager, if you ever asked me, would I take 12 wins out of 18 games? I probably would have bit your hand off. So again, it's going to be a good standard. It's going to be, I'm hoping it's going to be competitive. My only worry is that this Atletico Madrid side on paper are very, very good. So Newcastle have got it all to do, but we absolutely love a potential underdog on this channel. So just bring it, Newcastle. I mean, you are currently holding everything up. You are late, so that you're not in our best books right now. I've got down here in the notes, there's no out-and-out goal scorer. Again, this all comes down to whether or not people are recording stats or whatever. But the highest goal scorer I could see in an 18-game season was on 5. So perhaps that might be a problem here. And again, against a very good Atletico Madrid side, that could be trouble. However, to counteract that, there were a lot of defensive clean sheets. So I think there was 7s and 8s floating around the statistics charts. Okay, so if they're keeping 7 or 8 clean sheets in an 18-game season, that leads me to believe, and only score the top goal scorer 5 goals, that leads me to believe that they're a difficult team to beat, put it that way. So again, we're ready for a matchup, and there's so much to play for as well. Like I said, if a quick turnaround in seasons, you could be playing in Div 1 next week. Win this game, and it's a one and done as well, ladies and gentlemen. So you win this game, you're straight in. No messing around, no 2 legs, no golden goal, none of that jazz. It is literally, by the time it gets to 7 this evening, one of these 2 teams will be a Division 1 team. Stick around this evening to find out who that is. Let's see confirmation of the starting lineup for Atletico Madrid. It would be really good to have one for the Newcastle side. Appreciate that is not always the case, but again, like I said, I think for Newcastle, if they've done any homework, they would be looking at how to get through that middle 3. I think obviously Psycho Girl up front is going to be a problem. I think the last time she was on the channel, I think she scored twice. I think she might have missed a penalty, which I'm sure she won't. She'll be glad of me bringing up. But yeah, at least a brace that evening. And it's just those 3 behind her, Drizzle and Foggy Duke in behind. Again, my danger man for this evening. It's written down, so he must be dangerous. Is Lachlan. So yeah, it's going to be tricky for Newcastle. Having not seen them play, there's not really too much I can say about kind of what they're going to bring to the table. However, the fact that they finished above Monaco and Lyon, again, Lyon are very, very good, a very, very strong side, leads me to believe that they could potentially cause problems for Atletico Madrid this evening. That being said, I think Atletico Madrid will be going into this as favourites. They are my favourites for this evening, I think, if I have to put my neck on the block. So I'm going to call it a nice high-scoring game. And guys, feel free to play along in the chat. I'll go 3-2, and I feel like that might be more wishful thinking than anything, because I'm fully expecting this Newcastle side to come out and just try and stop Atletico Madrid from playing, in total honesty. And to be honest, I think that's a pretty good tactic. But if Madrid get an early goal, if they can go ahead, it might just force Newcastle into coming out and playing. So I'm not hoping for a Newcastle downfall, of course. We all like to see an underdog. However, let's make it a good, competitive, high-scoring game. And it's the playoff final after all. You don't want to come off that pitch in a playoff final and think, I wish I'd done this, or I should have done this, or should have prepped better, or whatever, or formation wise. You've had all this time to do the training, to do the formations, to do the homework. If they haven't done it, then hey ho. Confirmation there that EA is still in late July, early August, still struggling. To be honest, I think it's Atletico Madrid have been sat there for a little while, so they might just need to do a cheeky little lobby reset. But yeah, if you are in the chat tonight, welcome first and foremost. Obviously, like and subscribe. I have to say that. But more to the point, let me know any score predictions. Do you guys play in MGL? Which team do you play for? Are there any... This is what I like, actually, and I had this last week. Are there any players playing tonight in the chat whilst playing? I had a goalkeeper last week, and we kind of gave him like a mini interview on stream, which was brilliant. So, yeah, it'd be good to get some of the thoughts from the players as and when they are playing effectively. Right, so we are 5-0 Newcastle. To be fair, I think you would get pretty good odds on that. So go for it. Absolutely, I'll give you 10-1 for that, mate. Dan the Demon. Why does that name ring a bell for me? I might have seen him when I was looking through the stats earlier on, actually. MGL platform ? Oh, it's you. Big yourself up. Put yourself in that window. I mean, to be fair, if you have a good game and Newcastle don't go up, hey, there might be people sniffing around for you. I don't know. I'm sure you're Newcastle through and through, of course. Bogdan, MGL platform ? MGL platform ! Where's the best place to find them? On Discord, or literally just drop me a line on any kind of social media and I'll send through everything you need for them. But this is the second game we've done with MGL. I would definitely recommend going and looking at the other one as well, because we had 2 fantastic games on that night as well. Defini will score a hat-trick, says Defini. I mean, that is the self-confidence. The self-confidence is... as a striker, unless you're a centre-back, then probably not. But as a striker, you've got to have that confidence, 100%. And Jensen's ringing the fighting talk. So I reckon Defini's a striker, Jensen's a centre-back, or a CDM. Because, yeah, they both fit that mould, 100%. But yeah, Bogdan, definitely get involved, mate. I think Pro Clubs Weekly, we try not to kind of broadcast anything that we personally wouldn't join ourselves. So that's kind of what we stand for here. So we've been watching MGL for a couple of seasons now. This is their second season. It's the end of the second season. But I'm told, and no one's corrected me yet either, that season 3, the third season of MGL, starts next week. So hey, if there's no better time to get involved, essentially. Right then, a lot of people rooting for Definity in the chat. Is he like Newcastle Shearer, is he, or I need to learn the name quite clearly. But here we go. I mean, they've only got 20 numbers. I'm hoping no one's got kicked out. But we'll obviously see that now as we have a look at Durag and Glasses. It's not a sellout, which surprises me. It's a playoff final, goddammit. But here we go. We'll see if anyone backs out. If not, yeah. Defeats Newcastle's mascot. I mean, did you see you can actually celebrate with the mascot in the new one? I mean, people might drop out here. I can see the 2 centre midfielders, or a centre midfielder and a left midfielder. It doesn't look like they're going to drop out, which is pretty savage, I can't lie. However, it is 7:15, and that's your... they've dropped out. Psycho Girl's through as well. Let's see what she's got in the finish. It's one of those things, isn't it, where that's why you give yourself, historically, the 15 minutes to get it done and dusted, right? Give the 2 teams 15 minutes, and that's not because you get to wait for 15 minutes for people to turn up. It's because it usually takes about 15 minutes to get into a freaking game to begin with. So again, I'm not pointing any fingers, Newcastle, but get your butts there on time. We've got stuff to do tonight. Busy people. So yeah, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We cover all leagues. Well, most leagues. Most leagues we're vetted. MGL is one of those good guys. So again, if you're from MGL, hello, if we've never met before, and if you're not, get involved, especially because if you're watching now, chances are you're free at this time in the week anyway, so why not play some clubs, or just carry on watching us. That's absolutely fine too. So we've gone back to Lobby Simulator, which is obviously just where I spend most of my life in total honesty, which is why I do notes. Got some beautiful homework for tonight. However, we've run out of notes because we've been waiting a little while, so let's have a little look. You guys are keeping me company for now. Newcastle taking a piss. To be fair, I mean, we've had front row seats to Atletico being ready this whole time. Yeah. Sorry, Fellaini. Yeah, I only ever have the YouTube chat up. I'm sorry if you're sat there talking in the Twitch stream. I do apologize. It's supposed to. We're on multi-stream, so it's supposed to actually come through as both, but it never does. We'll fix that. We'll definitely fix that. Again, that's not great, but we'll persevere. I think the whole thing has just gone off. Yeah. I mean, it gives us a chance, chat. It gives us a chance to get to know each other, doesn't it? Hey, I mean, normally, if this is your first time here, normally I've got a co-host, but with the early games, he's not back in time. So I actually, here we go, bloody hell. So normally we just shoot the shit with him, but hey. To be fair, I've not had this in a while, so I feel like I'm due one. Two people didn't get through when the two teams actually did get through. Again, I don't blame them for that. However, that is why we do the 15 minutes as a general rule of thumb, to counteract some stuff like that. And no one wants a default. Surely no one wants a default in a playoff final. Surely that can't be a thing, right? You want to win it. You want to win it. But yeah, I imagine both 22 players now. We're just at the mercy of EA. Literally just at the mercy of. Yeah, that's a good point actually, Fellaini. Make sure you delay the game. Because I'm sure you've seen from social media or just in the MGL know that there is 2 games tonight. And the second game is the Div 1 final. So if we can push that back slightly just to make room for this one. Although apparently there's a few problems over on the Newcastle side. Is anyone streaming for Newcastle? Not saying we don't believe them, obviously, but right, they're trying again. Here we go. I mean, now I feel like there's genuine beef between the two teams. So. And the good thing about this as well is they're actually playing their kits, which is a huge help for anyone calling a game on stream. Right, I think this might be now or never. So if we don't see that magic 22 number, then yeah, I think we might be struggling. One person's not got through. Sorry guys, if you're the one person that didn't get through, I apologize, but. I was going to say that's life. That's not life. It's EA. That is EA in a nutshell. Right, so I bet you any money it'll be an Atletico Madrid player that gets kicked out as well. Right, let's get this underway because it's been a long time. It's been a long old wait. And we clocked in early as well because we're good like that. Right, you guys are probably sick of me talking, so let's get straight into the game. Looking out for that unlucky one person. That or Newcastle just showed up without one person. Yeah, they are missing one, so it is that Newcastle side who are missing. So again, I think Atletico Madrid, it's fair to say, were the favourites coming into this. Now with a man down, I think this might be relatively one-sided here. Psycho Girl goes down the left, cuts inside. Lachlan, the danger man, looks for the 1-2, but Glimpse steps in. Nudges it down the line, and here we go. Newcastle answering the haters. What have they got? Ball over the top. The guy flirting, I was going to say, Hemlet's, I think he was the top goal scorer, by the way, the one I mentioned earlier on with 5. Flirting with the offside flag a few times there. He never really looked like he got back on side, and evidently didn't. But if he's going to be toying with the last man like that, then it only takes one through ball. Divinity, as centre-back. No hat-trick for him, unless. Gio, building up from the back, gives it to Drizzle in CDM. Lachlan, coming deep to get the ball early on. Merlin Mal, 50-50 there. Does well just to keep possession for Atletico. Lachlan, going to be looking for those wingers, going to be looking for that single striker up front. So expect them to see a lot of the ball with just that one striker. Sharps into Lachlan. Ball's through. Stabbed over the top. Jimmy B does well to repel it. Foggy Duke, though, does fantastically well. And here is DLVP. Man goes down. That is a stone waller. And as he was getting to the byline, gets his heels clipped. Now, Psycho Girl missed the last penalty on the channel. Doesn't make any threat of that this time. Straight down the middle. Pressure penalty, ladies and gentlemen. 1-0 to the favourites, Atletico Madrid. No complaints about the penalty. A good bit of sustained pressure as well from Atletico Madrid for this first 10 minutes. They're seeing the majority of the ball. They've got the majority of the field possession as well. I'm just looking to see if an Atletico player has maybe lagged out. And I think it might be Lachlan, actually. That would take us down to 10 apiece, which would make this game fairer for sure. Don't forget, Atletico Madrid finishing second. 3 points behind the league leaders, Manchester United, who absolutely romped that Division 2. They'll be in Division 1 next season. But who's going to join them? One of these two teams. Headed down nicely there, actually. Stabbed down the line. Divinity comes across nicely. Chests it out of play. Looked like he might have wanted to take that down, but I think he'll take that given the situation that was brewing behind him. Back into play, and Lachlan's gone. He's being controlled by his CDM teammate Drizzle. Slid through. I don't think it was meant for Psycho Girl, but she took the ball and she was offside. The goal scorer. 17 minutes gone. Newcastle just looking to just keep the ball. I think that's what they need. There's no rush at the moment. I think what they don't want to do is go 2 goals down here. Especially with Lachlan dropping out for whatever reason. Whilst it's not what we want to see, it's a real positive for Newcastle because he's a very good player. Psycho Girl battling well, but dispossessed on the edge of the box. Again, quite similar to that run through that caused the penalty, but this time timed much better. Look at this, Newcastle got willing runners through the middle on this right hand side, getting to the byline, cuts back nicely. They have got players up if they want. Oh, that's an awful... Oh my god, is that a mistake? No, it's not. Wow. Calm it. I don't know what's really happened there. Was it offside coming back from the tackle? Maybe that's what caused that animation, but that goalkeeper animation was disgusting, by the way. And good finish, but it was ultimately offside. And maybe a bit of a warning sign for Atletico Madrid, because before that, they looked in cruise control, really. Here is Alfie. Foggy Duke steps in, but Maestro sweeps up behind him. 26 minutes gone. All the way back. Newcastle, again, this is what we said they needed to do. They just need to get a foothold in the game, keep the ball a little bit, maybe not dribble it out from centre-back. Here is Drizzle, through on goal by himself, playing under his alias Lachlan now. He is the CDM, but he is also any, so he's having to control both of those players at the moment. And here he is again, having an absolute storm as Lachlan lays it off. Stabbed into the, just on the outside of the box. Not given they won it really high up and had players rushing on it, I think they'll be disappointed with that one. But here comes Glimpse on the overlap. Cuts back inside to Alfie, who's having a good first half. Here is Glimpse, edge of the box. Stabs it into the back post, not dealt with, and it is eventually dealt with by Merlin Mal. Gets rid, but Glimpse does well, keeps it in. And here we go. Newcastle really turning the screws here. Applying that pressure. Glimpse goes out wide to Maestro. Slides it through to Dan the Demon, and Gio just cuts out, but Dan's going to get it back. Squares it off to Maestro, gets the shot away, it's going to fall nicely. Gio, fantastic interception, and again, Drizzle back there, the CDM form this time, and again, oh, it's not even warning signs for Atletico, it is, they are just knocking down the door, and they just, thanks to Gio, did everything they can to repel that, and yeah, they're indebted to him and Drizzle. But here comes Psycho Girl, the skipper and goal scorer for Atletico Madrid, and again, with that lone striker role, it's not finding too much space up there. And like we said, just before the game started, Lachlan was probably the person to go and occupy that space, and he's lagged out. So stabbed in, Gio does well, heads it down to goalkeeper Doyley. It's I'd say it's his first touch. Technically it's his first touch, but it did have that awful first touch when it was offside. It was because of the animation. But yeah, Newcastle with a disallowed goal. Technically a goal line clearance, I guess, because that tackle by Gio from about 6 yards out was as good as a goal line clearance. But it's still 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. A penalty, the only difference. Sharps gives it to Allison. Cut out, gives it to Dan the Demon, who again has looked lively. Alfie, arguably Newcastle's best player this half. Coming up to half-time, if they can swing this in. Yes, they can. Gio gets rid of it. Are they going to give them a chance to take this corner? They are. This could be massive for Newcastle. I would send everyone up, because if it gets knocked out, they're not going... Atletico Madrid aren't going to go anywhere with it, so chuck them in the box, boys and girls. Here we go. Swings it in. Allison, front post. Cardinal sin. And that is half-time. 1-0. Is it a tight game? I don't think it is. I think it's end-to-end stuff for a 1-0er, for sure. I thought Newcastle would... I don't know. You can see, you can definitely see why they've kept so many clean sheets this season. Why the defenses look so good. I do want to see this game 11v11. However, the fact that it's gone down to 10v10 does make it a bit more of a level playing field, because before Lachlan, whatever happened to him before he left the game, Atletico Madrid were on top, and it was going to look like a scary result. So that's balanced it out. And Newcastle, to be honest, are probably deserve to go into this as at least a draw. So the fact they're 1-0 down, they're not going to be too pleased about. But they got 45 minutes to put that right, and it's 45 minutes potentially left as a League Two side, for one of these two teams. Ninjas gives it to Drizzle, who gives it to Drizzle in his cam form. DLVP, who got taken down for that penalty, slides it through to Psycho Girl. But she's coming up against 2, maybe 3 centre-backs, and she's just getting no change out of them whatsoever. I think that might be something they needed to speak about at half-time, because it just ain't working as things stand. Glimpse going to restart us with the throw. I don't think Definity really appreciated that, but he did well. Let's see if they can go again. Yeah, inside this time, much better. Legion tries to squeeze it through. DLVP does well though. Glimpse, he's got acres on this left hand side. I mean, Newcastle are packing the box there if he wanted to chuck it in. Alfie does chuck it in. It's going to be a 50-50. Doyley does really well. And again, it's a name we recognise on the channel because he had a fantastic game last time he appeared on the channel for Madrid. Sharps tries to come inside. Alfie, to be fair, not just Newcastle's best player, arguably man of the match so far. He'll be looking to inspire his team. Just a goal is all they need. Where is it going to come from, though? Where is it going to come from? Free kick deep in the half. When is it going to get to the stage where Newcastle starts to chuck everything at it? Because it's not like a normal league game. It is a one and done. There's no two legs. You lose this and you're in Div 2 again next season. So there's going to be a time where, especially if the score stays like this, they're going to start chucking the kitchen sink at it. And I want to know when that is. We've seen it before on the channel. Some teams like to leave it late, creep into extra time. Others like to chuck stuff at it straight away. What are we going to see here in the next 30 or so minutes? Good defending there from Newcastle, because at one point Sharps was definitely away down that left-hand side. He does get the ball back up. Drizzle, who's having to play two roles. Here is his second role. But that man, Alfie, is there again. Although it didn't look like much of a free kick, to be fair. What can Atletico Madrid do from here? Is it too far out to have a pop? Because Psycho Girl kind of looks like she might be eyeing it up. There is a Madrid player in the box should they choose to go for it now. I think in those circumstances, just go for it, because it can't be worse than what we just saw. Aqua Ninjas takes it down nicely. And you know what? I was going to say the composure was elite, but he's given it away. And here is Hemlet. Merlin Mal steps in at the nick of time. Not the most assured bit of defending I've ever seen, but they get off lightly. Luckily, do Atletico Madrid. Glimpse gives it to Maestro. Loses his man nicely, but cuts back. I don't think he needed to do that. I think Newcastle need to just start being a little bit more positive now. Start testing this back line of Atletico. Psycho Girl does really well to hold that up. Gives it to Sharps on the overlap. And that's kind of what she needs to do, is just help get those wingers into the game. Drizzle, especially without Lachlan in the team. It's a massive miss. Massive miss. Especially when you got one up front. Maestro does well to turn. Glimpse, again, does really, really well to get it out. Legion over the top for a ball to run onto. If he can keep it in, Glimpse does. Headed out by Sharps. Picked back up though, stabbed in. The centre forward wins the header to Legion. Again, Glimpse on this left hand side, having a good game. Gives it to the centre forward. Alfie slides it through, but Gio there in the nick of time, and not for the first time for Atletico Madrid. They'll have him to thank for the clean sheet so far. We do have just under 20 minutes though, and this game is starting to slip away as Psycho Girl looks for a reverse ball. It wasn't a bad idea, but again, this defence for Newcastle, we did say before the game, they've stood strong. Questionable playing out from the back, but defensively looked good, and that is going to be a free kick, and that is a bit closer this time. And Psycho Girl, take it from me. Oof. I was going to say, take it from me, have a shot. Take it from me, give it to someone else who will have a shot. And I think that's what's going to happen here, unless they're laying it off, because she is available at feet. It's gone to the left. Drizzle into the back post. There is Gio. What a goal. They'll say it was worked straight from the training ground. I'm not sure I believe them. But you know what? It does not matter. And that might be the goal that seals the deal for Atletico Madrid. Doubles their lead. Gio at the back post. He may have just overtaken Alfie as man of the match now with that finish. And again, Newcastle, if it wasn't kitchen sink time before, it certainly is now. It wasn't against the run of play, but also, again, I said it at halftime, I'll say it again, Newcastle are their own worst enemies here. Goalkeeper goes to ground. Good save by CC Football. Might accidentally kickstart a counter-attack for Newcastle here if they can stab that one through, but there is man of the match Gio. Steps in, does well, and Psycho Girl on the last shoulder of the last man. Instead, they'll go across. Sharps just straight offside. 10 minutes left for Newcastle. Stranger things have happened, boys and girls. Do not write them out just yet. However, they need to find a way to get this ball up into midfield, into strikers' feet, because when they've done it, they've looked good. And it's usually this man who's done it as well. Alfie over the top, but that was dealt with really, really nicely by the Atletico Madrid centre-back. And again, both teams, I think, just playing out from the back have just looked a bit lackluster. It might be the heat, it might be fatigue from the summer league, who knows? But I think both teams have had good joy when hunting the opposition down. Hemledek can't win that to a teammate, and time is slipping away for Newcastle. They're going to need a miracle now. 10 minutes was doable. Just under 5 minutes, maybe not so much. Or am I going to eat my words? Oh, Aqua Ninja does fantastically well. Goes to ground as well. Risky tackle, but paid off. And that might be all she wrote for Newcastle as Atletico Madrid look to put a cherry on the top, over the top to Psycho Girl. Story of this game has been 3 people chasing the lone striker. But she's got a goal from the penalty spot. She's got an assist, technically, I guess. So she won't mind too much at all as Dan the Demon gets the ball on the edge of the box. Merlin Mal does really well to step in and keep the ball. Sharps goes over the top, and again, we're going to see that Newcastle's stubborn defending. They do play out from the back well this time, but in the famous words of Jojo, it's going to be too little too late. They give it away on the halfway line. Glimpse is going to go long to no avail. All the Newcastle players were up, and for some reason the referees let them play on. Why the hell not? There's gonna be no cherry on the top. He can't get it through. That is gonna be all she wrote. Atletico Madrid came second in the league. Some would say, if you don't agree with the playoffs, some would say they deserve to go up. Newcastle certainly made a game out of it. To be fair, that kind of middle portion of the whole game, basically, looked like a very, very good side. Looked like they might do it at one point. Alas, Atletico Madrid proving too strong, and congratulations to Atletico Madrid. Commiserations to Newcastle. I mean, with Manchester United gone and Atletico Madrid gone, you guys are next in the pecking order. So you should be aiming for promotion next season, automatic promotion. So I promised you a second game, and that's exactly what I'm going to do for you now. As I load up Barcelona versus PSG. What a game this is going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's max screen this. You can get a glimpse at one of these teams because that's all we have. Christian Gamer, join our Discord and we'll send you the link for MGL. For sure, get involved, for sure. Right. Here is that lineup for MGL Barcelona. I say that as he takes it away. I've got the background up anyway. There it is. Bang on cue. They're sending the invite. So, hey, I'll do a quick sweep through of my notes. Barcelona versus PSG. This is Division 1, the top tier of MGL. So, we're expecting fireworks here, boys and girls. Barcelona, a 9-1 win on aggregate to get through to this stage of the playoffs in the semi-final. They beat 4th placed. I think it was Real Madrid. No, it wasn't Real Madrid. It was Dortmund. They beat 4th placed Dortmund. 9-1 on aggregate. PSG, however, on the other hand, 3-3 draw in the first game and a 1-0 win against Madrid in the semi-final to get through to this stage. So it's quite similar to the Atletico Madrid-Newcastle game, in I do genuinely think there's a favourite and there's an underdog. However, we absolutely love an underdog. And, hey, PSG have got some fantastic players. A-Crackers has got 14 goals in 18 games, so look out for that man up top for him. They only lost 3 games all season, did PSG, and 2 of them were to Barcelona. So they are arch rivals. They are arch rivals, 100%. Right, let's get into it then, shall we? Div 1, playoff final. Here we go. Is it going to be at the first time of asking? I did see someone stood there not moving. That or they're just a man down. This is not a game you want to be a man down in. Wow. PSG in the dark blue, Barca in the light blue. They're not too bad. They're not too bad. You might struggle if you're slightly colourblind, colour deficient. But Bailey's got it on the edge of the box for Barcelona. Adams swings it into the back post. There is a man free. One and only Jack does really, really well there because he looked like he had time to take it down at one point. It will be a corner then. Barcelona turn the screws early doors. Fizzy gets it into the back post, and here we go. Cookie King. Opening 5 minutes. And Barcelona they won the league. They're pressing home that favourites tag. And again, it's similar to the Atletico Madrid game. The favourites start off strong, and it's just going to force PSG to have to come out and play. And we're here for that as pure neutrals. Sturdy out wide to Peep. Good ball to CMR. Gives it back to Sturdy. Overlap Adam K. Really, really good interception there because there was a lot of danger. And again, we spoke about in the last game, teams just chucking stuff as soon as they go down. And PSG committed a lot of men forward here. They're just starting to get back now as they win the ball back. But Bailey intercepts for this Barcelona side. Adams swings it in. Good early ball. One and only Jack again having to do a lot of defensive work. We didn't see the formation, but it does look like there are 3 at the back. So one and only Jack as a wide midfielder is not going to want to be playing there too much. You can see him at the bottom of your screen now. But it is Barcelona who build back up, although Sturdy's got something to say about that. Wins it back and keeps a hold of the ball nicely. Peep on the overlap. Good football from PSG. Recovering from that early goal. And Fizz steps in. It was Fizz. Fellaini with that assist to his centre-back teammate, Cookie. Swings it in. Betts gets a bullet header. 40-yard header. And here comes Texi. Willing runners either side. Committing a lot of men forward are Barcelona. Step overs. He's still got the ball. Somehow back post was on. One and only Jack again. I mean, he is doing a lot of defensive work. Joel Dapo goes past his man. Gives it to Jay Sauce on the edge of the box. It's going to spill out to Joel Dapo. Is it going to be a goal? Is it offside? No one knows. It is offside. Hold those celebrations. A big, big save. But a big, big finish. Followed by the biggest flag. 1-0 it remains to Barcelona. And this game has started off at 100 miles an hour. Just what we expected. It's the playoff final. Div 1 playoff final. Parish. Texi steps in. Intercepts that from Peep. Looks like a tricky player, this man. Gives it to JSauce. 13 goals in 12 games for that man. Gives it to Walker. 19 goals in 18 games. Make that 20. Doubles the lead. Busts out the gritty. It is Barcelona 2. Look at that. He won it back. It's tenacious work. Tenacious work from the goal scorer. Guys, it's officially a 20 goal a season goal scorer. That's what you get when you put him in your team. 20 goals in a season. Is there going to be a more important goal than that this season? They're going to be hoping not. Our PSG as they look to get back into this. Just the one man in the box, but it does get through all the way through to Peep actually. Stabs it in. Jack does well to repel that. Texi. I think they'll do well to continue that high press on Texi because at the moment he's the danger man for Barcelona. Looked really, really good. Just brave on the ball. Just continuously bursting into the PSG half, which is not fun to defend against. And there he is again, picking up the slack. And here is Dapo. Barcelona happy just to put their foot on the ball now. It's the luxury of the 2-goal lead. However, they're not done. Internal Waters does well. CMI, I think they might get it back. No, they're not going to get it back. There was an advance played. Don't know why. Parish back to Peep. Die Johnny does well because I don't think he wanted it there to Feet. Down the line to A Crackers. It's probably the first time I've seen his name. They'll be wanting to get that man on the ball a lot more often. I'd say in the second half. There's still a good 10-15 minutes to play in this half. Walker. Joel Dapo on the overlap. Cuts back with the feet. Loses his man. Wow. Crosser. More than happy that fell just very, very politely, very nicely. Just straight to his feet. Because Joel Dapo did really well there. Arguably deserved more from that run and that ball in. Walker takes it down nicely. a bit of a small man build as well. He was able to take it down on his chest. One and only Jack. Don't think the goalkeeper wants it floated into his feet. Joel Dapo swings it into the back post. Adam Kay loses out, but the clearance only goes so far. They do get it clear this time. Crackers gets it down to Parrish, and here we go. It's 4v5. Tries to cut back. Bailey does really, really well because PSG had the numbers up, and I think that's killing them at the moment. Is they're sending numbers up, and they're just not getting any change out of this Barcelona back line. And we'll recycle. PSG, I think, first and foremost, they can't afford to concede another goal. I think if they concede here, it's curtains. However, how long do you leave it before you do start to chuck the kitchen sink? Sturdy does well. Committing men forward again. He slides it through. If he can get the other side of him, Cookie King, the goal scorer. The person who got Barcelona off to such a good start, showing his defensive qualities there. At one point, it did look like the striker was going to beat him for pace, so it got across him really, really well. And Barcelona, looking like prime Barcelona at the moment, happy to keep the ball. Dapo on this right-hand side looks a threat. Nice one too. Barcelona getting into their groove at the moment with Texi. Back to Walker. Good tackle. Falls to one and only Jack, who's arguably had the most touches for PSG, and it's a lot of defensive touches as well, and they won't particularly like that. I mean, if you're PSG manager now, do you know what? They've got the players to do it. 100% they've got the players to do it. They've got some really, really good players in there. Crackers has had about 2 touches. Sturdy looks good in that centre midfield position. They've just got to pick their passes a little bit better, because Barcelona defended well, but I think PSG, once they get into that final third, they've just lacked a little bit. It might be nerves. It's a big step. It's a big stage. You know, it's the biggest trophy in MGL. They're on the biggest stage in pro clubs. Let's be honest, they're not. It's fine. But hey, like we said in the intro to this stream, just leave it all out on the pitch. Do not come off this pitch thinking, I wish we'd gone forward a bit more. Or I wish we'd chucked an extra man up front. Or I wish we did this. I wish we did that. It's now or never, as Elvis once said. You just got to go for it. And yeah, 45 minutes to do so. Not a great start though. Texi gets it in and stabs it through to Jesus. Loses man twice. I'm sick of saying that man's name, but he's back there doing the defensive work. Is Jack. Both teams got a Jack, which is not very helpful. I think they might both play on the same side. Good feet, but Sturdy is across there. Steps in the nick of time to stop that ball getting floated in. A bit of a strange situation there, and that's Riley's first touch of the game, I can confirm. But yeah, the Barcelona line looking quite deep there. That ball over the top might be one to look for this PSG side as they search for answers. How do they get back into this game? A goal would surely just give Barcelona something to think about. We've got Fellaini, actually, Fizz. We said about people coming in and doing interviews during the game. A solid half from Barcelona. He's not wrong. Texi looking to make it a solid start to the first half too. Wow. Oh, okay. The centre-back gets across. Does really well. The animation didn't do too well for the centre-forward. But then he cleared it against his own man, and it went over his own crossbar. So lucky to get away with just a corner there, but it does come to nothing. And PSG live to fight another day, but for how long? As Jesus beats another man, swings it in. Internal Waters does well. Big save by Crosser. Just lacked the pace on that shot. Good accuracy though. One for the cameras for sure. Seemed to go a bit in slow motion. But another thing to note, and again on my homework sheet, is 10 clean sheets from 18 games for Barcelona this season. As Jay flicks it on to the one and only Jack. He gets a chance to do some attacking for once. It's Cracker's big save from Riley and a big hand as well. Wow, that had some venom on it, and that was going top bins as well. And again, it's a sign of a good goalkeeper. It's the goalkeepers who don't have anything to do and then need to be switched on. And speaking of switched on, Die Johnny does really well, because I think that might have been Joel Dapo at the back post there. Was just sneaking in behind Jesus with the corner. Texi gets it back in, lets it bounce to Die Johnny and co. Bets his opposite number is there, and who is it? It's one and only Jack. gets rid of it. And he's probably having more touches than most people at the moment. Fellaini looking for that left-hand side. No one was on. Bet's on his way back from the corner, though. Is happy to take it down. Finds his CDM. Or both his CDMs, actually. Fantastic play from Barcelona. From back to front. A man on the left-hand side. Texi's not going to use him. Instead, gives it to Walker. 20 goals this season, boys and girls. Die Johnny says absolutely no chance. But again, Joel Dapper wins it up high. Unselfishly squares it across to Jesus. And that is game, set, and match. We've seen it a few times tonight. It's just... They do really, really well defensively, and then for some reason, and it's not always the defender's fault, they try and play it out from the back, and it's not always on. It's not always on. Whether or not that's midfield not showing for the ball, or whether that's how the manager wants them to play, or it might just be centre-back's mistake. But here is another mistake, because it's leaving these players free, and Lek QR plays it off his own post after a double save from Crosser, and Barcelona are looking not to put one cherry on the top, but multiple, with Cookie with a big save from Crosser. Nothing wrong with that header whatsoever. Does well, really a bit similar to the Riley save as well. Really strong, and here it is again, given away possession. Just so far at the back, it's just killing PSG at the moment. Animations aren't helping, I'll give them that one, but Barcelona strikers are having an absolute field day at the moment, and I think it's just a case of Barcelona only need to keep the ball. I don't think they want to just keep the ball. They smell blood here. Don't forget, they did win 9-1 on aggregate in the playoff semi-final. Internal Waters does really, really well there, but it does concede the corner. And yeah, you know what? As good as PSG looked in this second half, I can't see them scoring 3 goals. But even if they did, they would have to still try and keep this Barcelona side out, who looked like probably favourites to score again. It'd be interesting to see the stats as well. In PSG, you can see they've had more passes than Barcelona, but Barcelona don't care. They genuinely don't care. They're winning this game 3-0. They've looked really, really good from front to back. Even the goalkeeper got in on the act with a big save at a crucial time. It's a great performance, and you can see why they're league champions, effectively. And a book in there. Didn't see the name. Might pop up now. Texi. There we go. I don't think he'll mind too much, funnily enough. He's had a very, very good game. He won't mind picking up the booking. 12 minutes left. I mean, if they got a goal here, you know, never say never. Sturdy. Not the best looking free kick I've ever seen. Cookie King gets it clear. Jay heads it down. Somehow someone was offside there. And that is the story of PSG's night here. It's just not clicked for them. They threatened to get back into it early doors in the second half, but I think the better side are the side who are 3-0 up, which is kind of usually how that works. And yeah, a lot of it's been self-inflicted from PSG. A few standout performances from them, but I think when you're playing a team who's already won the league, it's going to be a difficult ask anyway. When they go 1-0 up inside 5 minutes, it's an even more difficult task. And when they're on form like they are now, it's an impossible task. Jesus from 30 yards. The goalkeeper watched it go in. It truly, it's, you know what, it's just a great performance. There's me talking about PSG so much. Barcelona they've just turned it on, and why not? Last game of the season, they're champions. They're going to be the team to beat next season. And to be honest, I think I said it at the beginning of this season as well, because we caught these guys early doors in the MGL season. I think we said it then. I'll go back and I'll clip it. I think we said that they were the team to beat, and here we are in the last game of the season saying it again. So sometimes we say things that are actually correct. Once every blue moon, but sometimes it works. Sturdy, head down to Parish. Can they get some kind of consolation? 2 minutes left. Adam has managed to keep that in somehow. Joel Dapo on the right-hand side was in acres. But a good tackle came in to stop them in their tracks. Fakes the throw, goes back to Fellaini. And again, we spoke about the clean sheets. Clean sheet number 11 for the season. Or 12 if you include the playoffs, I guess. You can see why. They're good players individually, but a very, very solid core as well. Fellaini gets the header down. Big shout out to Lek XR as well, by the way. He's had a really, really good game. I just don't like to say his name because I don't really know how to pronounce it. But here is Parish. Can they get the consolation? Riley's going to want to keep that clean sheet. Was it a save? We'll never know. Tipped it onto the bar, give him the benefit of the doubt, and there it is, all she wrote. 4-zip in the final. Solid stuff from Barcelona. Commiserations to PSG. They kept Barcelona honest for a good 70-80 minutes, to be fair. It was a good game. Guys, the gauntlet has been laid down. The gauntlet has well and truly been laid down. Barcelona are the best team in MGL. Next season, I expect them to come out and defend the title again. There's no two ways about it. Everyone else, for Dortmund, for PSG, for Madrid, just put that target on Barcelona's back, because someone's got to beat them, huh? Someone's got to beat him. Undefeated in the league, 17 wins, 1 draw. If you include the playoff games, I think that takes them up to 20 wins and 1 draw this season. Guys, MGL need a coming together of the minds to work out how to stop Barcelona. But this is their moment, so let them enjoy it. Fantastic work, Barcelona. Champions of the league and champions of the playoff as well. So that's a double as far as I'm concerned. Great stuff, MGL. Thank you very much. Guys, if you are watching and you don't know what MGL is, drop me a line or find anyone MGL on any of the servers and go speak to them. Can't speak highly enough of them. Get involved. Their games are 7 and 7:30 on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. Guys, if you are over from MGL and you haven't subscribed on YouTube to Pro Clubs Weekly, do so now, because I am absolutely roasting and I think I deserve that. Right, so we're back on later on, but over on VPG's channel, so come and check that out. If not, feel free to hang around our YouTube, because there's loads and loads and loads of Pro Club stuff. So hey ho. Right, thank you to those who joined us. I'm just reading through the chat now. Thank you to those who did stop by and did watch the games. Again, 2 really good games, Div 1 and Div 2. Some really good stuff. Looking forward to coming back for Season 3. So, hey. Right. I'm going to go and have a drink and maybe some form of ice cream. And then back to streaming for us. So, cheers, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you on another stream, be it MGL or whatever. But if not, at least stick around on socials. It's always a good time. Always up for a bit of a laugh. And, hey. Cheers.